I don't think my practice has really changed all too much, given the fact that most of my work is done far removed from most of society anyways.
My practice hasn't shifted too much. Most artists are generally professional shut-ins to begin with, so it's been kind of uplifting most of the time at home. So the time that I have been working has been pretty joyful.
All of the projects that I had or was working on getting were either canceled or postponed until further notice when a solution can be found.
Last year in February, I was prepping my first big convention, and then all of a sudden we hit COVID and everything was postponed. Hopefully some of these things that was scheduled for are gonna happen. You're missing out on a huge part and you don't even realize how big of a part.
It has been quite difficult to continue my art practice in the community and in the outdoor space with the lockdowns and the restrictions of travels, especially that I work in a lot of residencies remotely. So the shift for me has a strong focus from the creating process into the researching process. And that turned my gaze and attention into the domestic environment where we are now spending most of our days in.
The shift to moving back into the way that things were before is going to be a challenge, but I'm really hoping that we get there soon. The types of productions that we were doing before in large theaters with lighting grid, huge audiences just aren't possible right now, so you end up much smaller in setups like this, one person, one microphone, one camera, and those sorts of reconsiderations that have to happen shrink the size of every project that's being put out.
It's also nice when you're just able to, like you mentioned, close the door and get rid of extra distractions too, especially being trapped kind of in the same environment all the time. You know, you look at it and you're like, oh, I should go do the dishes right now instead of painting. And you know that you have to focus on your painting right now and you have to put your dishes and stuff for later when you would come home from work type of thing.
I've had to consider more where I go with my work. I want people to stumble into it and not see me doing it. I want there to be a disconnect from me as the artist as opposed to when they see it on social media or as a print, because once you take it out of the forest it changes the whole dynamic of the piece, I think.
Spatial and material reconsiderations haven't really been impacted by COVID. It's more mental for me, certainly.
The experience and the relationship that we experience through our body in relation to the space. How our daily routines inside our room has become kind of a shackle for us, and how we have gradually become the animals in the zoo.
You know, an appreciation of things aesthetic in the arts, looking at the world around us, to think about the things that are at hand, whether it's consumerism or popular culture, and how it affects our daily life.
What I want my audience to walk away with is two things. One, the original message that the piece was trying to convey. In this time, want them to walk away with art is still going to happen no matter what gets thrown at it.
I hope the viewers will walk away with the second opportunity to view what the things that have been really used to in their life, like the movement of walking, the space they are living in, the sound of microwave beeping, having the reconsideration to learn to our experience, how our body changes in those stages, how our mentality changes through those actions and experience, be more empathetic to this common actions and how these common actions relate to other people's experience?
I want to say like a sense of peacefulness and joy, because what I'm doing when I create artwork is I'm doing something that I love, creating something that I love, so I can share both those things with other people. And honestly, if someone looks at my artwork and goes, "Oh," that just like fills my heart. So
The biggest one, I think, was, I guess, the birth and growth of like the stay-at-home artist collaborations and networking with everyone kind of around the world. Like I took part in Seawalls and Pageant Seeds stay-at-home mural festival, which was 800 artists around the world doing a mural in their studio and then sharing it, and they'd put up videos, and it was a really cool experience to take care of. Yeah.
I'm doing more videos than I was doing before, more recording, more things online, but the level of shift is not up to what we were doing before. I think when I go back to my work, when hopefully all of this is finished, I will have some new skills that I can roll into that sort of material, because obviously nothing is ever going to be the same as it was before.